Brother Muhammad Newell with the All African People's Revolutionary Party. My elder, Akabundu, he's not able to be here. He's doing some work out in Nevada right now. So I was sent here as a representative of our party. We have some of our comrades here as well. We want to talk a little bit about the movement that you guys have going on right now. Akabundu and myself, we had a chance to be out there in Standing Rock in December when it was snowing and everything was going. I want to tell you guys, not only did you guys touch folks on a level of environmental justice, people talk about changing the situation, changing the system, and et cetera, yet there's many intricate parts of that, many intricate parts. We need to know how to survive, how we're going to cohabitate, how we're going to work together, what type of collaboration are we going to have, who can be an ally, who's not going to be an ally. These are things that we have to think about. When we were there in Standing Rock, the level of organization was beautiful. Akabundu and I, we laughed. As soon as we came to the front gate, first thing we were met with was security. That made me feel safe. In America, I'm not safe with that. I'm nervous. I'm ready to do something in self-defense. There, I knew I was home. And it was a matter of identifying those FBI agents, those CIA agents, those enemies. We heard earlier that one of the sisters was dated or had a boyfriend who was working as a FBI agent. These things are real, they're serious. And so we need to be able to identify these folks. And the only people who can identify the folks are the folks who know this is my home, I know who's coming, I know who's going. Somebody has to vouch for you. We were vouched for to be there. We knew some of the comrades who were coming from here, going there. We were able to meet with them. We were able to sit with the elders and have these discussions. These things are important because there's always people who are trying to bring these movements down. It's like a snowball, right? You catch the snowball early, the snowball won't have a chance to get large and have an effect on whatever the situation may be. So it's very important that as we're organizing and we're talking about these things, we're keeping these things in mind. You know, the people that you love, the people that you trust, that's beautiful. You gotta make sure you know who these people are, you have these people come through and participate in these things. It's really, really important. I want to talk a little bit about what we saw when we got there. I saw elders, you guys. So anybody under 50, you're not officially an elder. So take that however you want it. The truth is, though, I saw people 60, 70 years old, women. I'll actually throw a name out there, Sharp from Colorado. Anybody know the sister? She's an elder, and she's serious. She's fierce. She's a warrior woman. I had a chance to talk with this sister, though. I had a chance to talk with her granddaughter and kind of get a little more information about why they were there. You had all these different nations, and you always hear about, oh, these natives don't get along with these natives, these indigenous. There's always these talks. What I saw there, I saw indigenous people from all over this whole plain. I saw people coming from Mozambique. There were people from Kenya. There were people from all over the world, from all different skin tones, racial backgrounds, etc., trying to do the work. I thought that was a beautiful thing for us to see and come back and talk to folks about solidarity. We saw it with our own eyes. We lived it. There were things organized in place to ensure that you were a part of that and you wasn't taken from, yet you were given. There were things in place to make sure that you wasn't going there to disrupt the situation. And we know when you got thousands of people, you can't control everyone. You can't control everyone. Yet I just want to make sure that we're paying our respect and paying homage to you guys for the level of organization, the level of dedication. You know, I'm talking about this is snow. We talk about here in Oakland or San Francisco, it's cold, 50 degrees, 40 degrees, and complaining. These sisters were elders in their 70s in sweatsuits in the snow. This is real. I saw this. No one can ever take that away from me. I saw it. So we have to make sure that, especially as youth coming up, we got to know our breaking points. And I don't think we've reached them at all. If you look at our elders in the past and work that they've done, we have not reached our breaking point. So we got to push on. Another thing that I saw that was really important was the diversity in medicine. Words are medicine. My culture, words are medicine. Food's medicine. The energy that you bring to the table, that's medicine. The spirituality is medicine. And I saw different levels of medicine when I was there. Myself, I don't deal with doctors. I don't deal with European medicine. That's not how I roll. So when I got there, I was a little concerned. Oh man, there's nothing here. My medicine's not here. I have my medicine cabinet in my home. I couldn't take that with me to Standing Rock. When I got there, though, I noticed that that medicine was there. So those who was there, you guys know what I'm talking about. That medicine, whatever medicine you rode with, it was there, and I think that that was beautiful. It showed that the brothers and sisters who were inviting us to come took in consideration how we operate as individual people from different cultures and backgrounds. So much love to you guys for that. That was beautiful. One thing that I saw too that was really, really important was the lack of fear. Kwame and Nkrumah, one of our founders, talked about liberated zones. There's a book, the Handbook of Revolutionary Warfare. And if you get a chance, I highly encourage that you guys check that book out. In the book, he talked about liberated zones. And even though Standing Rock was not a liberated zone, that was the goal. That was the goal. The level of organization was there, and it was very, very beautiful, you guys. And I think that as we're planning and we're talking to the younger generations, we're talking to them about liberated zones, because these are the places that we need to be able to mobilize and organize to continue this fight. You guys, I'm going to go back a little bit. I had a chance, maybe a few months ago we were here. Madonna Thunderhawk was here. Was anybody here for that event? Oh, of course, I see you at all the events, sister. I had a chance to meet with her when I was in Standing Rock. And for those who don't know, Brother Tony mentioned Kwame Ture. By a show of hands, anybody know who Kwame Ture is, formerly known as Stokely Carmichael? He carried a special medicine, that's for sure. One of the stories that I like to tell you guys about, so you guys know Kwame Ture. I'm going to use my young person verbiage. He rode with Dennis Banks as well, and I know that elder transitioned last year. And our elder Akabundu had a chance to go out to Minnesota to be a part of the process in honoring of Kwame Ture. Kwame Ture already passed, yet Akabundu was able to carry that torch and carry it on. But I was there able to sit with Madonna Thunderhawk for some time and hear about stories. There was a president you guys might have heard of named Ronald Reagan, who told people of African descent that we no longer could go to Africa. Does anybody know about that story at all? I think it's important. That we all as a people know about that. Kwame Ture, being who he is, carrying the medicine he carried, he looked at that like, oh, well, this is an invitation for me to go to Africa. What, are you kidding me? So he organized brothers and sisters to go to Africa, and the first group of people who were not of African descent were the natives who stood up with our comrades, and they went and held a press conference. They didn't sneak to the airport. They didn't hop on a plane and sneak to Africa. They held a press conference saying, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're doing, and there were African and native people side by side. They flew to Libya and met with Gaddafi as he rests in peace. And when they met with Gaddafi, Gaddafi offered citizenship to all people of African and indigenous descent. Most folks don't know that story. This brother offered citizenship to anyone of indigenous blood here in America and anyone of African descent. And many of the folks came back together and they held another press conference. Many people were detained, et cetera, and it was it was released soon thereafter. So these are stories that I think that we as a people need to know about these things. All history is a current event. That's something that we learn at the House of Sankofa. All history is a current event, and it's important that we don't let any of our history die out because it's affecting us right now. I want to make sure that I'm paying homage to the water protectors, not only here in America, the work that you guys were doing out there, and I say you all, because I wasn't there as a water protector. I will never sit here and take the praises of someone who was shot. Where's the brother at? Who was shot twice on the front line. I can't say that. I was there in Standing Rock, but me, if anybody was there on the level I was there, it's not the same as these folks who were on the front line. So I pay homage to you all. You all were speaking for people all over the world, though. All over the world. I'm in contact with people from all over the world all the time. I traveled to Cuba. There were people when I was in Cuba who were there, who were talking about their experiences. One of the lawyers, I'm going to meet with the sister when it's all done. One of the lawyers who were working with the group was in Cuba as well. And when I was there in Cuba, there were people from Bolivia who were talking about the brothers and sisters who collected rainwater, getting their arms cut off. You see what I'm saying? Some of you guys know these stories. Some of you guys do the research and know what's going on. So those people were telling me to tell you guys thank you. because they don't have access to the media. When the young youth who went out there protecting the water and yelling about what's right and what's wrong, that got on media. Nowadays, people from all over the world were able to see that, and that motivated those folks. That motivated people in Africa. That motivated people in Central and South America. So the work that we do here, it has huge effects, you guys. And so when we talk about honoring these sisters, these brothers for the work that they do, we really mean that. We don't just come up here, and I came out here from San Jose. I came out here to really let you all know that we really appreciate the work that you all do. We had the blessing to be at the sunrise ceremony for the Aztecs in San Jose, and I was able to speak there with Red Warrior Woman and Chief Ernie. And it's all because we know what happened when we got off the boats. Many of us know a little bit about history, what happened with us when we came off the boats here, and the love and the protection that was given to us, the camaraderie that was given to us. Those who know about our history, we don't forget. We don't forget those who risked their lives, their land, to protect people that they just met. I appreciate you all for that. I appreciate your elders, your ancestors who are not here with us 300, 400, 500 years ago. I appreciate it from deep in my heart, deep in my heart. It gives us a certain level of warriorhood inside us here on this land. We came from Africa with the warrior spirit in us, yet it has infused with the native spirits here. The warrior spirits are combined. And so we are in solidarity with y'all forever, forever. We are here. Whatever we can do, those things that we can do, we will support in the best way we can, because we know when it was time to go to Africa to let folks know that Ronald Reagan can kiss whatever, the indigenous women, let me be clear, the indigenous women were the first ones to stand up and say something. So we want to make sure we're clear on that, and we're paying homage to you guys. There's so much I can speak about as far as our relationships and our interactions throughout the years, things that you all have done for us, things that we have done for you all. Yeah, we want to make sure as the youth are growing up that we're focusing on bringing these two nations together, because together we're much stronger. Divide and conquer has been the imperialist, the capitalist, that's been their MO since day one. Divide and conquer. Divide the indigenous people, divide the African people from there, tall, from short, et cetera, et cetera. We know that. So our power, our medicine is coming together. Our medicine is united. Our medicine is educating African youth, indigenous youth, to make sure that we're on the same page when we move forward. We know what we need to do. Seriously. This award right here, we give this, and we don't, like for us, we all know we're dealing with capitalism, imperialism. If you're an organization here in America and you're really fighting capitalism and imperialism, it's gonna be strange to be a billionaire. It's gonna be strange to be a millionaire. Y'all see, we carpool, we struggle with gas, we do all those things because it's the real. I know some of y'all got here and struggled getting here, but we're here. We have an elder in our community at the House of Sankofa. That's our spiritual center. He made this. Akabundu designed it, and the brother he made this. Sister Susie, if you can come up, please. It says here, Standing Rock Red Warrior Society. Ture Black Star of Labor Award. We're not talking about labor. There you go, sister. No, thank you, sister. We're not talking about labor as far as going to work and cashing a check. We're talking about the real labor, the labor that matters, y'all. Real talk, the labor that matters. This is what's up. This is a sister right here on the front lines. Oh. Fighting all of those misconceptions that it's only men on the front lines, et cetera, et cetera. This is a sister right here on the front lines. We really, really respect the work that you do, the labor you put in, the energy, the time, and effort. Going away from your family to stand up in the front lines. I mean, for real, we really, really, really appreciate that. I can say, do not forget, though. Do not forget. Do not forget. You know, we have a bunch of battles that we're fighting. Everybody know what this sign is here? Anybody know about Oak Flats? Don't forget, that's right here in Arizona, y'all. Do not forget, there are people still fighting cases, et cetera, et cetera. We got to keep their voices out there. If they can't speak from the prisons, if they can't speak from the grave, we got to keep their voices out, you guys. Much respect and appreciate your time.